Welcome to the Agents of the Roundtable Wiki Community AMA. Every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC, we discuss Secret Network and its applications with guests from all around the network. This is an audio recording of the AMA. We hope you enjoy.
To create DAOs. Oh. We're rocking and rolling, is that right, Erdemon?
Yeah, we are. Let's wait 1 more minute, I guess, or two for other people to flow in. We had a meeting before here, which was a bit of a chaos, so that's why we're a little bit late.
Yeah, we'll just chill out for a couple minutes then. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's post everywhere you know people, because normally there are like at least 30 to 40 people in here, and now we are with 6. So let's see if we can make it more.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Scott.
Hope y'all had a good day today.
I'm looking out the window right now, and it's beautiful outside. It's gorgeous. I hope wherever people are at, that they're surrounded by some beauty that they can look at and appreciate despite what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, it's chaos, but here everything is still going on.
There's epic mainstream media attention through this war is being brought over to the value of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency like hasn't been seen on a world stage. So it's going to be really interesting to see how adoption, whenever the markets return to some type of a bullish sentiment with worldwide inflation and monetary mechanics at play. But we're talking about a lot of people recognizing the utility of transferring value across a border in difficult times where the whole world's looking. So there's definitely a positive story being spun in the mainstream right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's in the news everywhere. Let's see what will come from it. I think Carter realized soon as well how important Silk will be for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as more people realize the importance of transferring value, then it might take a year or so or a couple of years, but eventually people will recognize that a public ledger not having privacy is another gaping hole or weakness or in the chain. So the time will come. I know that people who are aware of privacy and blockchain are way ahead of the curve because the understanding of blockchain and crypto is still little understood throughout the world, but the need for private, most people who learn about Bitcoin from a mainstream perspective truly believe that it's some anonymous, secure crypto or way of transferring information when it's built on a public ledger. It's the opposite of anonymous.
Yeah, so I got the message out everywhere. So let's start. Maybe first Leon and MrMinded can introduce themselves.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's
Go
Oh, you want to go? Go ahead, MrMinded.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go. So what's going on, everybody? My name is Leon. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm with the Secret DAO team. I'm currently doing kind of design, marketing outreach, and a whole bunch of other like public relations stuff with Secret DAO. And yeah, that's pretty much me.
I'm MrMinded, artist based out of Minnesota, right outside Minneapolis. Artist behind Ample Agents, as well as the artist behind the Cyclops circus that is coming through Secret DAO. Essentially, this project was created out of a need for fundraising efforts, as well as the need to provide some unique utility that will come with Secret DAO for holders. It was also a way for us not to dilute what we were doing with Ample Agents, but also find a way to still incorporate those core original Ample Agent holders, already being a successfully launched project, and just bringing it and tying it in with Secret DAO as another additional utility with that as well.
Yeah, sounds good. It's and how different is it for you to have a collection used for fundraising instead of just your own art, which you started with and wanted to launch yourself?
I mean, I would say, success necessarily isn't what, maybe always in something tangible or maybe in, getting monetary reward immediately, as it is possibly creating something that is long term, and it just comes with a success for my own artist name, as well as just promoting something with some longevity that comes with it. And for me, I mean, that is the reward in itself is just having something that people are excited for, that also incorporates fundraising efforts at the same time. And it's just something that is unique to outside the normal standard when it comes to some of the art sales that we've seen as well.
Very cool. I was going to ask a question for Leon with Secret Nodes. You're a validator. That's correct. Secret Nodes is a validator that people can support by securing the network through your node, correct?
Yeah, so Secret Nodes has started quite a bit ago, almost like, I believe, and I could be wrong on this just because the CEOs or the original creators of secretnodes.com aren't here right now, but I believe they started pretty much when Secret Network was even brought up to conception. So yeah, we do run a validator node. We also run the blockchain explorer secretnodes.com, which is one of our main products at the moment, as well as we recently released features for Secret Wallet, kind of like a integration for wallet functionalities, both on the blockchain explorer and hopefully now coming with Secret DAO. But yeah, we're a rather large validator group, and it's been running fairly well actually for us for a couple of years now.
Very cool. Yeah, I recognize that. And so another value you guys are adding right now is Secret DAO. Can you tell me a little bit more about Secret DAO? Whose inception, whose idea was it, and where did the idea for the collaboration come from? Secret Nodes, the validator and the team working over there, to Cyclops Circus, Ample Agents, and the family that what MrMinded has created with his artwork. How did that collaboration come about?
Yeah. Oh, did you want to go ahead, MrMinded? Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say some of it, like some of the foundation of it was kind of birthed out of just having known some of the team at Secret Nodes for well over 10 years. And it was also just figuring it made sense to incorporate kind of that left brain, right brain to create something unique for Secret Network, where you have the technical and the artistic aspects kind of merging harmoniously to provide something unique. And it was kind of just also a way to, it made sense for what we were already doing with Ample Agents. And it kind of just goes back to, okay, how can we bring more people in? I've had a few people say, when are you going to do the next collection? When's that going to come? And I had mentioned that a few other times that, we had tossed that around to do that. But I think for now, the best interest is to create this utility and focus on this, and then let the community decide what we propose for maybe a version 2 of the Ample Agents, or future collaborations under this DAO that we're creating.
Yeah, and I'd like to add a little bit on that. So yeah, the CEOs of Secret Nodes and MrMinded were really close friends, and it kind of just made sense for us to try and help MrMinded with his growth and scalability of his projects. But somewhere along the road, it definitely change to a different narrative of this definitely shouldn't be a service that we offer only one person. And then there was kind of like a very, very obvious problem that was going on with different communities that are building currently, which is like the problem of, going viral or getting really, really popular, and then having to deal with scaling and building your project in line with people's demands. So a lot of people, when they just find something that they really, really like, that demand more of it. And with these artists or communities that are trying to build it, it becomes really difficult to kind of resource these like necessities for building your utility for your project. And so that's kind of like where the conception of Secret DAO came from, or at least evolved into more of like a community focused product. Was that we want to kind of solve the fact that people are having a really tough time scaling their projects. And so we're just going to build a service that'll make it easier and make the barrier for entry on these NFT communities or DAO communities lower than what it normally is. It just kind of made sense.
That's a beautiful answer, brother, because that's really life, right? You create something to solve a problem that you see right in front of you in the real world. And as you're building it out, you recognize, oh, wait, this can be of value to other people. And so it makes sense that MrMinded gets to test out and bring out and show the new features with an inaugural NFT. But the fact that you guys are building something that can help the secret network, that's a beautiful thing, and that's exciting. And I guess that's more the message to get out, is that this is the beginning of another value added, tool that more people can come take advantage of, NFT artists and DAOs for future. And this is just one of those public chain value added projects. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, that's where some of the excitement's coming into play too, as well. Is it's really just looking forward to what the future holds when it coming to bringing in and collaborating with other artists, new artists.
Well, you guys are OGs in the space, not just Secret Notes. Thank you for sharing more and teaching me more about, because I recognize your name and a validator set for a while, but seeing your history to the genesis of the network, it makes sense why you guys are collaborating. And it kind of is a perfect segue, because I see somebody else. I think he's still in the room if Scott hasn't left yet. But Ample Agents was one of the first, was the first NFT to show what can be done with secret NFTs private metadata by including a membership to Alter, which is, I have to be in the top 3 or top 5 or top something of the most amazing projects built on the blockchain in 2022, because private messaging with the security of blockchain is just, a pink elephant in the room that is not being talked about enough.
And there is definitely some things in place to continue that relationship with Alter in regards to what we're doing at Secret DAO. And what they have planned coming up too, and maybe Scott even wants to dive into that a little bit as well, because that kind of provides some of the additional insight to what the Alter IDs are doing for Ample Agents.
Yeah, cool. Hey guys. So regarding Alter, so some things that we're looking at doing is NFT access to chat. That'll be coming hopefully later on this year. So you'll own an NFT, and then you'll get access to chats. And we're also looking to work with DAOs to be able to send out updates through Alter Mail. So if someone wanted to send an attachment out to the 69 Ample Agents or DAO memberships, that would be something that would be able to be done on Alter as well. So that's a great opportunity to continue to use Secret Network to get off of these Web2 platforms like Discord and Telegram. So cool things. I don't want to put the show up here, so get back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's no hog, man. That's major alfalfa. That's what we're here for. And your project has been a huge part of the value of the secret NFT space. Beyond Ample Agents, I recognize that you guys have done a lot of work to support many DAOs and many secret NFT communities. So I'm really excited, and that's huge value. I mean, to be able to provide NFT access and to work with DAOs for custom updates and bring, you know, more tight knit closeness to these communities that are forming. That I know that you guys have chat other things happening. So just very, very cool. Thank you so much for what you're bringing to the space.
Yeah, I think Secret Girlfriends was the first project to add something of value. I think they included secret tokens in the private metadata, but then Amble Agents then was the first NFT project to include alter IDs, which is still a sweet added value to an NFT that we've never seen on any other chain. So, prop to them.
Totally, and I've got a couple ladies I think I can pull up that have a secret word too. I didn't partake in that treasure bounty, but it was definitely a cool feature that I've seen other NFT communities do lotteries and split up. I think like Waifu Society splitting up keys with treasure troves. They pioneered that value, like you said. So you know that's artists. It's really cool to see what the artists are doing in the NFT space to show the dynamic and the different utility of these blockchains. So very cool. Okay, back to Leon, Secret Nodes, or MrMinded. Do you guys have any other? So Alfalfa, you kind of want to drop on the roadmap of what you're creating, or started with how people can support you. I know that there's a Cyclops mint coming up soon.
Yeah. So right now, really what we're solely focused on at Secret DAO right now is really just making sure that these collections are successful. There have been a little bit of concerns, and I should just address this now because it has been said in previous chats earlier today that people are kind of concerned with the collection size that we have chosen for our NFT release, which is, by the way, releasing today at 1 p.m. PST or 9 p.m. UTC. But we kind of agreed on this collection size, which is, by the way, 1969, I believe, for the number that we're allowed to be minted. A lot of people are saying that this is kind of on the higher side, but we at Secret DAO kind of felt like it was actually kind of in a perfect spot. Not too little, not too large, and we're not necessarily too concerned with the success of this NFT launch being completely sold out within a couple of minutes. This is definitely not your normal NFT release for Catcyclops. This is definitely more of like a long-term purchase, I guess you could say. I don't want to say investment, but it is an NFT collection that's helping raise funds for a product that is going to be much larger than just an NFT collection. And I think MrMinded can probably delve into this a little bit more. But yeah, just to address everybody's concerns who are coming here with those concerns, we at Secret DAO or Secret Nodes, whatever it may be, we're not very concerned with whether or not this NFT launch is sold out immediately. Just wanted to put that out of the record.
I agree with that. And originally we had planned for 2969, and then we kind of discussed amongst us that maybe we'll just shave off 1,000 and kind of reduce it down after some earlier discussions. But the one thing we didn't want to do is create a collection that was too small that wouldn't allow for enough people to get involved if they wanted to. We also didn't want the opportunity for someone just to come in and swoop up a bunch of them, and then they all of a sudden are the only one that has the most pull and everything, and it's not necessarily a fair spread. And that's some of the things that we were looking at into this number, as well as Leon mentioned, it wasn't so much about the success of pulling out quickly.
Oh, I think there is a hot mic going on here, MrMinded. Just solve that, anybody, because I'm not able to hear MrMinded at the moment.
No, he's in a gunfight at the moment. That's how it sounds to me. Yeah, but maybe to just quickly wind back. Maybe to just quickly wind back. Go ahead.
Thank you. I guess just to reiterate real fast, we had reduced the collection size. It was originally 2969 to 1969. That is kind of a sweet spot. We wanted it to have at least a fair opportunity for enough people to get involved and not just have it too small of a collection where maybe someone comes in and swoops up a majority of it. And that isn't a fair chance for enough people to have governance ability, as much as it is a thing where we aren't looking to necessarily worry about how quick we sell out, as it is having enough there for room for growth as the community grows too. If we do sell out, today. That is beautiful. That is what we would hope for as well. But if we don't, how long it takes, we're not concerned about, just as long as there is something there to provide people the opportunity to get involved with what we are doing. If it is something where we do sell out quickly and not enough people are able to get involved, we do also have backup plans to accommodate with that in the form of a second project if needed. But for now, we are solely focusing on the big cat show with the Catcyclops.
Yeah, and just to quickly add, and I don't want to delve into this anymore really after it, but I guess some don't understand fully the kind of scope that we have for Secret DAO, or at least the vision that we have for Secret DAO. I want to make a point to reiterate MrMinded's point on, we didn't want to have only a few people have access to this NFT collection. With airdrops being planned in the future for people who have participated early on within our funding efforts, we want to make sure that everybody, or at least the Secret DAO governance platform, whatever it may be called later on, isn't only being participated by a select few of people who just dumped a bunch of money into the early collections, right? So we want to make sure that everybody is able to access these things, or able to access the core DAO, I guess, governance for Secret DAO later on. And so that's why we kind of want to make sure that everybody, or that these collections are at a high number.
Yeah, so to just quickly get back to the two people who are here, and I guess the projects we are covering. So the timeline is so that you guys are developing Secret DAO, which is of course a set of tooling, and I would love to get into that a little bit more after this. And before this tooling can be fully completed, there will be a mint. I thought it was later today, if I'm correct. So it's you said
It is, yeah.
2 PST, which is in how many hours?
1 p.m. 1 p.m. PST, which is in 1.5 hours. So
Yes,
we're
okay.
getting
Then
close.
Yeah, 9 UTC is what I thought it was. So that's indeed correct. So and then the mint happens and the timeline starts, I guess. And then the eventually we're all going to be wondering about Secret DAO, which is the actual projects we are so interested in. Because personally, I hold some projects, and it's always a problem where they do want to do more, but they have no official way of governing. They have no official way of handling assets. So I would love to get into the tooling which you guys are going to provide, and what exactly will be included.
Yeah, some of what we can touch base on for now. I'll kind of go off of what Leon mentioned with Secret Nose doing Secret Wallet, and with the secretdao.com being the platform itself. There are things that, if you've noticed with other wallets, that you can do and use utility with when it comes to, possibly staking and other things. These are things that are on our radar as well. I will not confirm anything right now, but these are things just to be mindful of too as we go forward, that we are looking to provide in some light, just to kind of shed on at least what we've got planned. And maybe Leon has some more too he'd like to share.
Yeah. So I guess a big thing that we're having for Secret DAO, or at least a big conversation that we're having internally with our team, is that we want to have the projection of Secret DAO be decided as a DAO should be, which is a lot of community efforts in terms of what they want to see on the platform, how fast they want to see things, what takes priority over other things. So we're kind of trying to build Secret DAO by leading with example for how a DAO should work. But we can definitely get into some of the tooling that we have already kind of discussed, if you have questions on those, for sure.
Yeah, as I say, like that, holding an NFT, obviously will lend to a governance. We've mentioned governance tokens as well. There was mention of multiple, and I think a few people were confused what that meant. The ideology is of we're collaborating with a new artist in the future, and should they choose to create a DAO under Secret DAO, and they wish to create a token for the DAO that they're creating or for the project they're creating, that is where multiple governance tokens could come into play. And that is where the community could decide how those are used, or in what mannerisms those can be used.
I mean, I guess the interesting part, or I think it's important first probably to sketch out what is happening right now. So currently there is no DAO tooling available on any platform on Secret Network. So if you would own an NFT, which is part of a DAO collection, so for example, Annans or Clandestina or Redacted Club or Cats, Ample Agents, I think those are the projects which are currently looking into it, then you hold an NFT, you have a voting right by say of the custodian, but there is no contract anywhere, of course, which lays down that you actually have this voting right and that you have a participation in the wallet that is shared amongst all these NFTs. So how, I guess the important question is, how will these things be implemented, and what timeline are we looking at? So a DAO treasury, is that going to be part of the secret DAO tooling, and is it going to be released like phase by phase, or is everything going to be there at the first, immediately?
Right. Okay. So I do so our timeline is a little bit flexible again, because we want to really focus on our NFT collections at the moment. But ideally on the first launch, we would really just want the core functionalities of creating your DAO. Now, as far as a DAO treasury, that is something that we probably would have to talk more with the community as well as internally. But as far as creating your own DAO, I would assume that you would be able to on launch create your DAO, create a token, allocate that token to your members who you would probably invite personally, and then start your governance in that way. So we'll have a medium in which people can kind of work within their own community on the platform, create your governance proposals, have chats about it, really discuss it as an organization, and then anything that is decided within those DAO communities will be executed by the leaders of the DAO or whoever it is that decides to partake in that execution, I guess. As far as I guess you did touch up on the treasury. Ideally, we would like that to happen on the first launch, but again, it really depends on how the community would like, I guess it would depend on how the community gets involved with telling us what it is they want to see first. So as of right now, just the core functionalities, which I guess, building a DAO treasury is part of that. So we'd like to ideally see that on version 1.
Yeah, I think it would be great if it's on version 1. I mean, then you don't have to trust a multi-sig or something like that to hold the funds, and it would enable NFTs to possibly also make the royalty contract a DAO immediately, which would just solve a lot of tax issues which certain projects are having at the moment, which I think is very important. Very important.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I have seen some DAO tooling or DAO creation products like Secret DAO use the multi-sig concept, I guess. For us, I think it was a really big want/need for a DAO treasury to be actually built so that communities can govern how they fund their projects. So we definitely don't want to do this rush for Secret DAO. We want to have a version 1 that is almost completely fleshed out so that people can really, really like experience the whole platform as what it will be, and then add later integrations. Like, for example, maybe adding on a couple of different cross-chain compatibilities or something like that. But that is in a later talks, and I'm not too ready to dive into version 2 or version 3 yet, but we are thinking about things like that already.
Yeah, and is there any timeline on the version 1, or am I going out of bounds here?
So I will say that just because we're solely focused on fundraising, I will actually be very, very transparent with everybody here. Sorry, I had to take a pause just to double check myself. But so Secret Nodes is building Secret DAO, correct? So initially, this team started off with just with just 2 people, and then I was added on. And then from then, we've doubled our team. We're looking for the development of Secret DAO to kind of expand on our team with help from this fundraising event. So it really kind of depends. The timeline kind of depends on how successful these things are, although
everything is already in motion and in the works. It's if we bring in more people, it's gonna speed up that finalization process, which could be a month or 2. But I mean, there's a lot of things there already. A lot of the tooling things are either in the finalization phases or they are ready as well. And it is just figuring out how quick we're gonna just fully engage into version 1. Based on some of the efforts and any team that we hire that comes from this first launch as well. I mean, a lot of community-driven stuff with this.
Yeah, so it can be quite quick. I think it's nice to highlight again how much we need tooling like this. I mean, the situation currently is nice, and we're all thinking we're holding some kind of decentralized community when we are holding an NFT. But the reality is we're kind of bound to the creator or to the holder of a certain community wallet, and also to their intentions with the project. While a DAO, where NFTs all have a certain say and funds are automatically transferred to the entire community or to a pool which the community controls, would make it so that a creator could leave and their project could still go on. And I think that's such a magnificent idea in the end, that the community is really in charge.
Yeah, I think a good point I want to make for Secret DAO is that we're really trying to set a new standard for how you support people in the community, I guess, which means like these quote unquote third-party services, like I don't know if third-party services is actually the correct wording for it, but these services that will allow people to actually kind of build their own businesses, that's what we're really aiming to kind of shake the ground in terms of like what services are provided on the Secret network for you to be able to scale your business, whatever it may be.
I made it to the call, Leon.
Yo, welcome Ian, CEO of Secret Nodes, everybody.
Hey guys. Sorry I missed the first half. We were just doing some last minute things.
Yeah, there was another interesting discussion happening somewhere else, but we're all here now. And yeah, I would like to roll back a little bit to MrMinded and see, ask for first, if the community has any questions, then please put them in the chat. We're happy to ask them, or you can come on yourself to ask them to either MrMinded or Leon, or even Scott or Ian, who are also in here. And so the collection is coming out. It's in a few hours or 1 hour. The collection seems to be Cyclops, which also look like cats. Is there any specific artistic idea behind why you chose these characters, and how do you envision them to move forward in the upcoming months, MrMinded?
So one of the things, I mean, so the character concepts are something I've been creating for, it's been about 15 years. And I've just been kind of evolving how they look ever since kind of just came up with the concept. And these are kind of just a product of some of that evolution. And in regard to evolution, that'll be kind of what we'll be looking at as far as furthering the collection and how they grow as well, possibly, with any other new projects that could come with it. But some of the ideology behind it is just the whole big influence with cryptozoology. And kind of some of the parallel universe ideology that comes with, discovering undiscovered species that could exist, whether it be, on this earth or in a parallel universe.
I know it's last minute. Speaking of parallel universe, were there any whitelist opportunities available leading up to this NFT launch?
There was, yeah, we had put it out there for people. There was a form.
MrMinded, can I tackle this one actually? Because there was a last-minute change.
Yeah, go for it. You probably know something I don't know.
That's why I was gone for the last hour. So yeah, like MrMinded said, there was whitelist available. I will say that there's only 205 addresses that ended up being whitelisted. We hope to solve that on future launches, but we were unable to load all the addresses in. So it went from order of when it was entered into the system for whitelist request, and there's 205 slots.
Yeah, I saw the whitelist was available via Google form, I think, on the site, but I was a little bit unsure what it was used for. But I guess if you put in your address there, you were automatically whitelisted.
That was
Yeah, that was how it was supposed to work, for sure. Everybody who entered their thing in was supposed to be whitelisted. We ran into a limitation, and there's not really we closed whitelist submissions at midnight, and we didn't know ahead of time how many we would get. And apparently the amount we got was too many for them to all be added. So I hope that answers what you were saying.
Yeah, but I think it's fine. I mean, if there are 1900 pieces in the collection, then everybody can get one in an hour if they want to.
Should be able to, yeah, I think so.
There, the network doesn't die, which will probably not happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen here.
Are there a way for people to know if their address is whitelisted or not?
We could right before I got on this call is when I realized that all the addresses weren't going to make it. So I've had between then and now to think about the answer to your question. I'm not sure the right way to do that. You could send me an address and I could tell you, but I don't think I want to. It's probably a bad move to just publish the list.
Totally, and I agree with Erdogan. I mean, it seems like with the size of the collection, if people are interested, there should be time. I was just wondering if if ample agents, or I do remember that form being filled out. So I was foggy. There's so much happening in Secret Network. I just wasn't. I forgot what the whitelist, how the method was, and now I remember. So if you're listening and you filled out the form and you want to know if you got a whitelist, then you can maybe someone could send you a DM.
Yeah, send it to me just to keep this organized. Send it to me on Discord or Telegram. I'll try to. I have a lot of messages on Discord and Telegram, I guess, but yeah, I'll do my best to respond to everybody who sends me a message.
Or first, before sending them a message, because they're working on a lot, try to mint it first with that address and just do your thing and get it over with. But
yeah, that's probably the wisest for sure.
That's what I was gonna actually make a note on. I think that for anybody who was very interested, because we did get more than the 205 that actually got pushed through. For anybody, yeah, we had a lot of submissions for it. So if you guys are still interested in it, I would just go ahead and say to try and mint it. Again, the collection size, like everybody says, is relatively high. And the whitelist was there just to make sure that everybody, or that it wasn't overloaded. So I would definitely just go ahead and try. Sending your sending messages to Ian might be good if that's what you want to do. But I think that because of the collection size, it'll be good to just try it.
can you drop the alfalfa of how large the the anticipation exceeded what the allotment?
I think he said 30 pieces too much, right? Or there were 236 people who filled in the list, but only 205 got the whitelist.
No, there's 500 that filled out the list.
Yeah, we doubled that. Yeah, we doubled that list, or the original 205.
But just to be clear, if you didn't make it on the whitelist, that doesn't mean that you won't be able to mint. It just basically reserves an NFT for the addresses that did make it on there. So definitely, if you're not sure, then just try and mint, and most likely you'll be able to get one, especially if you're able to do it today.
Just a reminder, this is not financial advice or commercial or legal advice. That being said, if you're new to NFTs or secret NFTs, we're talking with some of the leaders in not just the secret network or secret NFTs, but developers in the space. So if you're looking at NFTs that have strong communities that have been around for a while, and you'd like to support something that has a long-term horizon, knowing that markets go up and down in the short run, that's kind of what our channel, what we focus on, that macro outlook. You've got Alter connections, you've got secret nodes connections, you got a secret DAO build out being done right now. So there's a lot of exciting things happening, and you can become involved with one of the early secret DAOs tooled on this platform by minting a Catcyclops coming up here in about an hour. What else do they need to be ready? How many S secret is it? Is there a mint limit? Can you just mint 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time? How does it work?
Jacob.
So you can only mint one at a time. If you can get through to mint multiple just by re-clicking the mint button, then that's fine. But I would wait until that first one shows up in order to go ahead and try and mint your second one. Also be mindful of all the other people that might be trying to mint at the same time. It is 55 secret to mint one of these. But that's pretty much what other questions were there?
I think you answered them. That covered it.
Cool. Good.
I also just wanted to riff off from something that you had said. So secret nodes is one of the development team, let's say, behind Secret DAO. And we've definitely been around for a long time. We're not going anywhere, and we do want to build the things we're setting out to build. Our 5-year anniversary is coming up in June, so Secret Nodes is turning 5.
Does that mean Secret is also turning 5?
No. We were Secret. We were Secret Nodes before the network used the Secret branding.
Yeah, I mean more like the entire secret, like the previous and current secret network. But you get what I mean.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
I look forward to doing a Secret Nodes validator video soon, now that I know a lot more about you guys from this meeting. So anything else you guys want to share about your history? But you did drop a lot earlier on what you guys have done and doing. So I'm excited. This is a very cool project. And I hope to be seeing you guys in the Catcyclops community as well.
One of the Genesis. Go ahead, Ian.
Oh, I guess I was just going to add, the only other thing I can think about adding, we're not just like a development team. A lot of us are pretty into like music, art, and things like that. Like Jacob is a DJ. MrMinded does more than paintings and illustrations. Like with the Ample Agents collection, he had put a number of original music that he produced to it. So we're very excited to finally be diving into like art in like our primary line of work, which is in the blockchain space.
Yeah, and then I guess really quickly for me, I want to address this just because I see it in the chat, and I'm not very shy. So I just wanted to address that I guess we didn't really understand how many white listings that we were going to get, and it is on our bad, I guess, for the lack of a better word, that we weren't prepped for it. But I just wanted to address it just so that you guys understand that for the next whitelistings, we'll definitely learn from this experience and then we'll move forward.
Well, I like to say it's good to not complain about the internet on an airplane and recognize that a lot of these projects that are being built are new and they're the first iterations on new technology on private ledgers. So it's nice to have patience with people as these things are built and we learn, and that's how these things grow and become more resilient and stronger. So thank you for that transparency. And can someone tell me how to see the chat? Because I forgot. I can just see a bunch of thumbnails. I forgot.
Meetings chat. It's above the meeting room you're in.
Oh, thank you, Aramon. Dang it, you man, you rock, brother. I swear.
Yeah. So quickly for me, I guess since the mint of these NFTs are so closely related to the entire project, I guess there will be some sort of benefit in the future. Does the Catcyclops or the Catcyclops community in the end have a lot of say in what the first things will be which are launched on Secret DAO, or will they have another way to fundraise maybe, or are there any implications already on the collection for the future of Secret DAO?
Okay, so I do have an answer to this. This is the fundraising portion of this is experimental, and so we need to get far enough along through that to understand if this is going to be viable. And we also, I mean, to be clear, we kind of want there to be a disconnect between what those benefits may be and people buying the NFT, because the NFT is what you're buying. We're going to build the rest, and we're going to communicate more details into the future, but we'll have to dive more into it after the first collection. When it comes to how governance would work, I really don't want to make any commitments other than saying it will be real governance, and even if it works one way initially, that way will be able to be changed through governance.
And the governance you're talking about here is of all the respective DAOs, or the governance for Secret DAO?
We're not going to make any commitments to that particular part at this point in time.
Yeah, okay. No, I think it's just it becomes quite complicated if you start thinking about how a project, which is probably a DAO themselves, are also making the tooling for other DAOs. So of course that's quite complicated, and some people are probably confused by the sentence I just put out of my mouth. But in the end, I think we're just all really excited. I collaborated a little bit on this with Leon already on what is needed for the current NFT structure on Secret Network to really go full steam ahead and actually have the tools to get the community rolling, which they want. And I'm just looking forward to the tooling that you guys will provide, and hopefully soon it will be integratable with IBC when the smart contract compatibility starts, and people can hold other IBC assets in their DAO treasury if they feel like it. And we can see all the NFT projects slowly have a lot more to them than just an image and a Discord or altered mail chat.
Yeah, and then just for me, just to touch on a little bit more about like the NFT side that we're doing. So two collections are currently already being talked about, one being Catcyclops and the other one's being Spheres from MrMinded. But I do want to just kind of tease a little bit about some of the outreach that we've gotten from different communities out there. So we've had a lot of people already asking or kind of communicating with us that they would also like to kind of partner with us or have some kind of like collaboration between the Secret DAO team and their community. So I just want to tease that, there are a lot of things that are being built, a lot of connections that are being connected, and you guys will definitely see much more than just two collections from MrMinded.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in contact with you myself to see if I can grab or snatch an alpha spot. So just hit me up if it's time to test, because there are some projects I'm involved with who would love to test this tooling. So I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, we definitely invite anybody to come reach out to us if they want to get some kind of collaboration going. I will say that we can't get everybody involved in the early stages of Secret DAO, but definitely reach out and we can definitely talk. You guys can reach me at any time through Discord or Telegram, and I'm sure any of the other team members would also be willing. So
And I see there are some cosmonauts in this chat as well, and they will probably be very familiar with the DAO tooling from Juno, which is available on their testnet. Maybe you guys could quickly collaborate on how DAO on Juno is similar or different from DAO on Secret. Besides, of course, the Secret network capabilities with privacy in mind.
yeah, so we definitely have seen DAO, and it's actually one of the very first, I guess I wouldn't want to say inspiration, but one of the very first. I actually am drawing a blank on the word, but comparisons, I guess, to Secret DAO. And we definitely like what they're doing over there. We definitely want to build more upon that, obviously, with privacy and secrets in mind. But overall, we're not too ready to kind of say what is going to be included from DAO, what's going to be excluded in Secret DAO, things like that. I don't think we're ready to dive too deep into that, but I do want to say that we are very aware of DAO, and we have some great plans that could probably be a little bit similar to DAO, but again, not too much information on that yet.
And just to refresh, this is we're looking at the inaugural fundraiser to be one of the DAOs created through this tooling set, but also to help fund the work that you guys are doing, right? With the Catcyclops community, with those who join, would they be helping support the work that you guys are building out and doing? This is a collaborative effort here.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time? I'm not sure if I got all of it.
That the hodlers of Catcyclops, that this is going to help fund the work that you guys are doing. This is a fundraiser, so you guys are raising funds to help build out a lot of the tooling that you're talking about on this roadmap. That the community that holds Catcyclops, they're kind of the inaugural DAO community is going to use this tooling, but also to help fund its growth.
Correct. That is correct, and there also is someone who kind of be used to
You're
help.
lagging a bit, I think, here, MrMinded. Oh, sorry, I think you were lagging just a little bit there.
That's all right. If you want to take it, you can, Leon.
Oh, I think you're good now if you wanted to.
Yeah, you just sounded so clean right when you said that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go for it. So there have been mentions about, I guess I'll start off with the fundraising portion. Yes, this is to kind of help in resourcing our development for Secret DAO, and also kind of a way to test out this whole ideology of empowering an artist, right? So we're partnering with MrMinded, who is obviously a great artist with a built/building community, and it's kind of our way to empower him, and kind of like, I wouldn't want to say a test run because that sounds kind of bad, but for lack of a better word, a test run with him and his community, and as pretty much one of the very first DAOs to be created on Secret DAO. And then as well, there has been mentions of a governance token airdrop for people who have gotten or who participate early in these NFT launches for fundraising. Again, I can't super guarantee that, but that is one thing that we are looking at and we have been very interested in. And those airdrops would again be it could be anything from governance tokens for Secret DAO or more NFTs from previous collections. It really just depends.
I just want to chime in and say, for sure there will be a governance token that is claimable by owners of the NFTs from these initial collections. If a governance token is launched, for sure there will be it's a for sure thing that we will allow it to be claimed by the people who buy this collection.
There you go. So that's a confirmation in itself. So that's great to hear. But yeah, so there are definitely incentives for people to participate very early into the development of Secret DAO, as well as minting these collections. So yeah, for the future, it'll be very, very good for people to, obviously not financial advice, but people to hold these NFT collections.
That was awesome. Thank you for sharing that and answering those questions as we get close to the end of the hour. That is about as alfalfa as it gets. I mean, I always say that participation in communities is the best way to maximize your potential rewards. You can't guarantee anything, but to partake in the early NFT projects on this new Secret DAO platform, you will, should they ever come out with a governance token, and there's a good possibility that as they build out, they will. If you participate early and support early and have one of those NFTs, then be ready for an airdrop or a claimable early gift of a governance for being a part of the community early. So that's awesome. I'll make sure to get that word out too.
Yeah, we're closing out on the hour, so I just want to quickly recap what has been happening. Yeah, there are some Atom people here. Ian, do you want to go ahead before me? Then I'll close it down after you've set your sentences. He's just sharing some nice art in the chat, which shows the Atom logo on one of the caps as well. Looks really nice. I like the backgrounds. They're very detailed. Okay, there's also a shade Catcyclops in the set, by the way, which has light coming from its eye and a purple cap. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
We found ways to incorporate some of the various communities involved with Secret Network, as well as some IBC chain communities too, as part of just some of the attributes, just to kind of further encompass that. We do also have some just one-of-one pieces too. There will be a rarity and rank factor too, with some of the metadata that's incorporated.
Yeah, cool. So 1 hour, guys, then the mint goes live. And besides that, I want to thank Secret Notes and MrMinded for being on here. Go check out Ample Agents, which is also a collection by MrMinded, and some of his paintings. I don't know if they are still available on Stash, but if you bought one, you got a physical piece as well. I think they're really cool. And also really like the voxel characters of Ample Agents. They're they really make your character come to life. It's like a full body version. And then for Secret Notes, one of the Genesis validators for Secret, they're very important to the ecosystem, run a lot of infrastructure. So if you want to help them, then delegate to their node. I think they're like number 3 or number 4 on the list, if I'm not mistaken. Your secret is for sure safe there, and they will be treating it carefully, running the correct infrastructure, running a lot of query nodes so we can actually see what is going on the blockchain. And I want to thank Lee and Ian, Jacob, Scott, and MrMinded for being on here, and of course Lucas for hosting with me. And we will be open to have some questions from the community if you still want to, but I have to head out very soon. So
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I can stay on here as well as anybody else. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and just send them out in chat, and we'll try our best to answer those.
I'll stick around as well too. I didn't have service there for a second, so I apologize for cutting out.
No worries. You sound good now.
I want to say thank you, Erdogan. Without Erdogan, a lot of these events wouldn't happen, and they absolutely wouldn't happen as smoothly. So thank you, and make sure I'll drop in the chat. Make sure you follow him on on Twitter, and I'll drop my Twitter link because we often are dropping. We're dropping this alfalfa as much as we can on different mediums. So if you want to follow us and stay abreast, feel free to do that. And I want to remind everyone that Scott of Alter was here, and of course, Ample Agent MrMinded collaborated from the beginning, one of the first projects to do that. Be ready for some future collaborations with Secret DAO on these projects and Alter Mail. There's some really exciting things happening. They mentioned in the AMA with tooling. So thank you guys very much.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you
follow us
too.
on. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying thank you too.
Yeah, thank you. Go follow us on @secret_AOTRT on Twitter if you want to make sure you have announcements every week. We will be here every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC and 2 p.m. Eastern time to make sure you have an AMA with a nice guest from the network. And I hope to see you next week.
Thank you for listening in on the Agents of the Roundtable Community AMA. Follow us on Twitter at secret_AOTRT and every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC in the Secret Network Discord.